it shouldn't be about Jody Wilson-Raybould. It should be about Justin Trudeau and what he did to initiate the scandal and what he's done to try to cover it up. We've had to tease the truth out of him. You know, we've had to drag Liberals kicking and screaming to the Justice Committee. He's broken that trust. To hold Justin Trudeau responsible, call on him to resign.
Well, he hasn't been the central cast member when it comes to LAVSCAN, but Andrew Scheer probably thinks that's a good thing. You've been standing by watching. What's it been like as Justin Trudeau and the Liberals can't seem to get their story straight, can't seem to get a handle on an issue that's been going on for more than 2 months now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're into our 8th week of this scandal, and it's been very frustrating. It's been frustrating and concerning because it's a scandal that touches at a fundamental pillar of our democratic system. We're talking about the independence of our judicial system, the principle of the rule of law, that everyone in Canada is supposed to be treated equally, and the allegations speak to Justin Trudeau abusing the office, the power of his office, to politically interfere in a criminal court case. That is very alarming, and that's why we were so outraged when these allegations came to light.
And I was there with him the very first day that he had to answer to that, because he came to the Toronto area, he was in Vaughan, and he said at the time, there's 2 things I want to get at. One, that it's much simpler than the Liberals want you to believe, because they want to confuse things. But he said at the time, these allegations that he was interfering in a criminal prosecution about bribery and corruption, he said they were completely false. Now they're saying, well, yeah, but.
It's the yeah buts, and it's the fact that we've had to tease the truth out of him. You know, we've had to drag Liberals kicking and screaming to the Justice Committee to get these answers. And you're very right to pick up on something very important. He looked 35 million Canadians in the eye and said that there was nothing to see here. He actually got very specific. He said that he never even put pressure on Jody Wilson-Raybould. That's now proven to be false. He admitted yesterday in the House of Commons that he, in fact, did meet with Jody Wilson-Raybould, that he did try to convince her to grant one of these DPAs, and that she told him to stop putting pressure on her.
Okay, and it was one of your MPs, Pierre Poilievre, who, I mean, how many questions have you asked? How many questions has he asked? How many questions has your caucus asked? Maybe someone on staff knows the answer, but it's countless, and he's always said, no, she never talked to me about it. And then Pierre stood up and said,
are you interfering with my role as Attorney General? Because I strongly advise against it. Does the Prime Minister remember her saying any such thing?
Honourable Prime Minister. And Mr. Speaker, once she said that, I responded, no, I am not. It is her decision to make.
He answered and said, and I told her.
He finally admitted, you know, I think he went off script a little bit there. Justin Trudeau's very good when he's on script. I'll give him that. You know, when he's had time to practice the lines and, you know, he can deliver it, you know, very, very forcefully. But when you get him off the script and when he doesn't have the notes in front of him, we were able to finally get him to acknowledge that she was telling the truth. She said he told him to stop. He heard those words. We now know that he didn't, and that's why this case is so important.
Well, let's boil it down for people sitting, watching this at home. Why does this matter to them? How does this affect anybody's day-to-day life? We're talking about a well-connected company, multi-billion-dollar company, bribery charges off in Libya. Why does this matter to everyday Canadians who are saying, okay, well, there's a scandal, but it's politics?
Mm-hmm. Well, there are certainly those in the Liberal Party that are trying to dismiss this, and even some media analysts who are saying that because there's no money involved with politicians, or
there's $48 million in bribes.
Bribery, yes, okay. That's a very good point. But in terms of you know, previous Liberal scandals where there were, you know, kickbacks, the sponsorship scandal comes to mind, where there's millions of dollars of cash changing hands with well-connected insiders. But my point is this: for generations, people have come to Canada fleeing the types of countries where powerful politicians are able to interfere in the courts, that they are able to use the justice system to reward friends and punish enemies. And we have to guard our independent judicial system fiercely. We can't allow any kind of erosion of that separation between politicians and Crown prosecutors and judges. Today it's SNC-Lavalin in a corporate case, but if we allow that to continue, if we allow that precedent to be set, tomorrow it could be something even bigger. It could start to trickle down to individuals. We don't want to live in that kind of country.
You could have the government deciding to prosecute or let somebody off based on who you know in the PMO.
What your relationship might be with the political party in charge. Imagine a mayor picking up the phone and calling the chief of police and trying to convince the police not to press charges. Imagine a premier calling a crown prosecutor saying, maybe go easy on this guy, try to go for a suspended sentence or sentencing to anger management instead of a jail time. That's the level that we're talking about here.
Is there a way for the Prime Minister to fix things, to make things right, or is this over for him?
Well, I don't think there's a way that Justin Trudeau can fix this now. He's lost that opportunity by saying things to Canadians that he knew wasn't true. He's broken that trust. He said he never put pressure on her. We know she did. He did. He said she never came to him with her concerns. We now know that she did. Once you break that trust, you really can't get it back. My challenge to the Liberal Party and Liberal caucus members was to hold Justin Trudeau responsible, call on him to resign. They got rid of the wrong members of Parliament. If they were upset about Liberal MPs who are doing damage to the Liberal Party and hurting their chances to get re-elected, it shouldn't be about Jody Wilson-Raybould. It should be about Justin Trudeau and what he did to initiate this scandal and what he's done to try to cover it up.
We've seen 2 women kicked out of the Liberal caucus. We've seen 4 women leave the Liberal caucus over the last little while. Women stand up and turn their backs during Daughters of the Vote. I'd be remiss if I didn't say many walked out when you started talking as well. But I mean, Justin Trudeau is always, he's there for young women. That's the bread and butter. This is his message, that he's the feminist Prime Minister. What's your message to the women that polls are showing are turning away from the Liberals?
Well, the message is that the real Justin Trudeau is emerging, that he's not as advertised, that he said a lot of things during the election and he sent some signals, but with Justin Trudeau, it's always symbols over substance. And here he had a strong woman cabinet minister, someone who was new to politics, who stood up and blew the whistle and said, you know what, this is wrong. It shouldn't be allowed to happen. And if you go back and you look at what she said and listen to the tapes, she's trying to protect the Prime Minister. She's trying to protect the Liberal Party of Canada. She's trying to prevent this from becoming a scandal. Justin Trudeau had an opportunity to welcome those actions and say thank you. Boy, are we glad that you are doing politics differently. You've kind of shone a light on what was going on, and he should have thanked her for that, taken steps to assure that it couldn't happen again. And I think if he had done that from the very beginning, Canadians might have come to a different conclusion. But they've seen the stonewalling, they've seen the falsehoods, they've seen the fact that only after a great deal of public pressure did any of these details come to light. And now they're realizing that he's not doing politics differently. He's actually doing politics the traditional Liberal way, which is to use the power of their office to reward their friends.
All right, Andrew Scheer, thank you very much. Let us know what you think of what you heard from the leader of the Conservative Party, leader of Her Majesty's Loyal Opposition. You can comment below. You can share this on Facebook, on Twitter.